Some girls never outgrow the pony phase. I'm Sarah Vaughn, and I'm one of those girls. I'm currently a dual PhD DVM student, pursuing both a degree to practice veterinary medicine and a PhD in comparative biomedical sciences. But my love of ponies and the inspiration for my research starts more than 20 years ago with this pony, Annie. Annie was my very first pony, and I love her despite her temperamental nature. But Annie has health problems that led to her early retirement, a disease called pituitary pars intermedia dysfunction, more commonly abbreviated as PPID. I still own Annie, and even though she hasn't been able to be ridden since I was 12, for years I've managed her health and tried to understand this disease from an owner's perspective. So what is PPID? PPID is a disease that affects up to 30% of horses aged 15 years and older and is caused by oxidative damage to the hypothalamus. This then affects the pituitary gland, a small but important hormone-producing gland at the base of the brain. Interestingly, oxidative damage to the hypothalamus is exactly what causes Parkinson's disease in humans, and many researchers consider horses with PPID to be the best model for Parkinson's research, meaning that my project could have big benefits for both horse and human health. The early symptoms of PPID in horses are noticeable, but seemingly harmless: fat deposits and an inability to shed. But as the disease progresses, it leads to more serious complications: immunosuppression, which can result in life-threatening infections, insulin dysregulation, and a condition called laminitis, which is so painful and debilitating that it can be fatal. For years, horsemen and women have noticed that ponies are more likely than horses to develop PPID and other endocrine disorders, and we don't know why. That's where my research comes in. I'm helping answer the question, why ponies? The first step is scientifically proving what horsemen and women already know, that ponies are different from horses. To do this, I started by measuring various hormones in healthy horses and healthy ponies. Our preliminary data for this experiment shows that even in health, ponies and horses have significantly different hormone levels that likely impact their risk of diseases like PPID. Since PPID is caused by oxidative damage to the hypothalamus, the next steps are looking at why and how much oxidative stress differs between horses and ponies. I'm currently working on the why portion, examining a gene that is known to be involved in oxidative protection to see if it's mutated in ponies, leaving them more vulnerable to oxidative damage. Next, I'll be testing how much levels of oxidative stress differ between horses and ponies, and whether or not horses and ponies respond differently to treatment with antioxidants. If we can confirm that the endocrinological difference between horses and ponies is due to a difference in susceptibility to oxidative damage, then we'll be one step closer to being able to more effectively treat or maybe even prevent PPID. Ongoing research means that horses and ponies diagnosed with PPID and other serious diseases are living longer than ever. As science continues to lengthen the lifespans of animals, I think it's important as a scientist and as a future clinician to think about more than just longevity. That's why my project is interdisciplinary, involving both a basic science component as well as a social science component. I know firsthand how expensive horses are to buy and especially to keep as they age, and I frequently think about what we owe these animals. How do we as vets or as owners make decisions about the care of aging horses? How do we make a judgment call on the right time to let our animal pass peacefully? How much care is possibly too much? Should the deciding factor be quality of life, money, pain? It's worth an ongoing reassessment of the veterinary guidelines and standards of care, as well as understanding the owner's points of views to answer these tough questions. Being awarded the ARCS scholarship would be a tremendous honor and would support my living expenses and research-related travel around North America to collect samples from a variety of Welsh pony breeding farms. I want to thank you for considering me for the ARCS Foundation Award, as well as for this opportunity to share my research with you.